Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I know you guys thought I was gone forever, but I came back. I basically just did some work for ADSR, made about like 3 hours or more of like actual content. So that like kind of killed my productivity feeling for like November because it was a lot of work. And then, you know, the holidays were right around the corner, so I was gone for a bit. And I was kind of out of stuff to make videos about. You know, I didn't know what to make videos about really. So now something has come back to give me something to make videos about, especially when the beta comes out, because they'll be all over that. So I don't know if you remember, but I made that rant video, and in that video, I'm not going to say the video is responsible for Bitwig 2.3, but Bitwig 2.3 eliminates at least half of the things I was complaining about in that video. So that's great, and that's really great for me because I was kind of, you know, off messing around with Studio One, Reason, and Ableton, making a few songs here and there with that. And now I can come back to Bitwig and probably get some more work done and feel like really great about using it because there's some really nice features coming to this DAW, a lot of which I've already previously complained about. So they've solved a lot of my problems. Now I don't have any more really. So let's talk about it. So we're going to look at the video after. Or maybe we should look at the video first. Let's look at the video first. All right, so that's pretty nice. If you were watching the video, and I'm sure you've already seen it already, you know, it talks about a few features that they're adding, not in depth or anything. So we can come through and look through Bitwig 2.3 here. And you obviously, in order to get it, you would need to have that update plan. And I believe there's actually no possible way you won't be getting this update for free if you've upgraded to Bitwig 2 or bought it when it had that deal. You will guaranteed get this update. So that's good. I mean, unless they really push back the update past the end of February launch, and they're always very on point with their launch predictions. They're always very accurate. So that's nice to look forward to. So here we have already a new instrument. That's cool. No doubt that this instrument is a result of Ableton 10's new instrument that they've kind of been working on, which is that wavetable. I think that's all it's called. It's a wavetable synthesizer from Ableton. So this is looking like a similar synth in a way. There's like a mod wheel here, and there's some shape stuff. Now, I haven't used the synth, and we'll figure it out pretty quickly when we get into it when the thing comes out. But it's looks like kind of a, what is it? An FM synthesizer, maybe, or something that can do some warp modes. We'll see when we get into it, because when we were looking at the screen for it, we can see that there is some very interesting shapes in here that are not just out of the synth with no effects, straight out obtained without having some sort of warp modes or modulating in a sense. So we'll see what comes with that. That's nice. And we can see that full screening is now a thing. So full screen EQ, thank you, and a full screen sampler. That is so nice. I don't know if there's any changes to the sampler. Hopefully that there are some options now, because as we know, they're adding the elastic improved stretching again. Thank you so much. I'm assuming like that they're using like Z-Plane's elastic algorithms, and that this is like top of the line stretching that they're going to be using. Obviously, why would they put like crappy stretching in the DAW if it's 2018? So I'm assuming that the audio quality is going to now be up to Ableton in terms of pitch stretching, because everyone's always talking about like how Ableton has the best pitch stretching ever. So I guess now that's not going to be really a statement you can make anymore because when Bitwig gets this better like stretching mode, when you're doing pitch automation, which is easier to do in Ableton, I mean Bitwig than it is in Ableton, that would basically throw Bitwig ahead of the game in terms of audio editing versus Ableton, because you can just have like the best stretching formats like in this DAW, and you have like the best audio automation in this DAW. Like you can snap it everywhere inside of your clip itself. It's so nice that you can do like live pitch stretching inside of the audio, stuff like that. It's going to be great to work with. We have time signature changes, which is like the only thing I hear people complaining about in like every DAW. It's like, but it doesn't have time signature changes. Personally, like I don't care at all. Like I don't use time signature changes. So, and I know a lot of people do use time signature changes because not everyone makes the same kind of music as me. And obviously, if you want to do orchestral stuff, you could easily get into some weird time signature changes. I know metal music, tons of stuff. If you want to use Bitwig for recording and you were mad that they didn't have time signature changing, now they do, so you can switch to it. So they have an instrument and an effects selector. Now, I don't know what's up here. I can read it. So basically, it's just a device that you throw your instruments or whatever, or your effects in, and then you just swap through them, like which one you want active, which one you want off, and only one can be active at a time. So that's kind of interesting. It says one of its uses is live play, and I can understand, like, okay, maybe it is a really good idea for live play, because say you have like an instrument track that you want to have just changing every now and then, you can just use this thing, swap the effects, and then like it's done. It's like nice and simple. We have voice stacking. So we are introducing voice stacking for a selection of our internal instruments, opening up an incredible sound design possibility. With voice stacking, you can create thick, lush sounds that were previously out of reach. So say hello to next level unison. So is this unison as in what? That's what I don't understand. What does it mean, voice stack? Like, is it going to stack the oscillators? Because it says it's with its instruments only. So it must be related to that. So how many voices each note should play, and assign parameters to spread each voice. So the CPU is obviously going to have to work harder because it has to duplicate the sound and whatnot. Again, like this is pretty confusing just by reading, in my opinion, for me. It's just kind of confusing to read and understand how it works. And I mean, we looked at the video and it didn't really offer any crazy insight to how that was going to be. So it's for native devices only, so I guess we'll see what goes on there. And then there's a modulator also for voice stack. Again, it can be used in conjunction with the voice stacking for detailed map control of each voice in the stack. Okay, that's cool. It's nice that they have like an in-depth piece to control the voice stacking. So that's nice. And, you know, I'm pretty excited because I can full screen stuff. You can full screen operator now. You can full screen FM4 and C waveforms. You can full screen blur tool. No, resonator bank. Don't know why you would do that, but okay. Maybe for touchscreen if you want to do touchscreen. That's actually very clever point. That's a very clever point about being able to full screen is you can touchscreen the shit out of this now on iPad and Surface Pros. You know, you can full screen your EQ and it's way easier to grab stuff. So that's going to be great. I'm interested to see how the EQ works and the sampler, and I'll be there to make suggestions for improvements again during the beta to see if they might slip in. I don't know. We'll see. I'm very impressed so far. I'm very happy. New synth, EQ full screen. That was a big thing for me. That's great. I wanted to have a full screen EQ. It just really adds to the aesthetics of working in the DAW, having like more colors on the screen, being able to change up your view from just an arrangement track is really nice for everyone. You can see that we'll have Spectrum in there. So it says 7 devices. These are 7 devices. So radiator bank, resonator bank, FM4, and we have polysynth, the new 4 synth phase 4, and then we have EQ5, the sampler, and Spectrum. So that will be nice. And I think I already did a video talking about how Spectrum's EQ is actually fairly accurate. So full screening it could just render more information to you about like your spectrum, because it is already accurate. So now you can see in very close detail if it's accurate or not. This will also help if I'm doing tutorial videos, maybe when I do EQs, or if I'm working with samples or FM or whatever. This could help a little bit with the tutorial department and having like these big pieces in your face instead of me having to zoom all the way in and adjust my knob so people know what I'm doing. So that's nice. So as we can see down here, we'll also have a new sound content update. And I usually like the stuff that Bitwig produces in terms of sound content, the people they choose to produce their sound content and such. There are some things that are very questionable in there, but for the most part, it's very good and very, very different from other DAWs, which is super cool. Now, the beta is coming in the coming days. Anyone with a Bitwig 2 Studio license can join and test the new version. They'll send out the newsletter and whatnot. So I'm assuming that the beta, you might have to apply for the beta, but as usual, they should just give you the beta completely for free. You don't have to apply or anything. And as long as you have Bitwig 2, even if your license isn't currently active for new updates, which again, that would be like impossible right now because it hasn't been a full year yet. So yeah, we can test out the beta, and I'll be on the newsletter, and my schedule is very free at the moment. So when the beta comes out, I will be all over that. I'll go through the instrument and effects selector. I'll go through the voice stacking. I'll go through the improved time stretching. We can go and compare it to some other DAWs and see where some improvements have been made, and you know, if it's actually like a decent competitor, or if it's right alongside them, or if it's better, because who knows. Either way, it's going to be better than what we have now, I assume. So that is great, because anything better than what's right now would be good. So we'll see how that goes. Time signature changes, I'll just talk about automating them, and then we'll go through the new instruments, maybe look at some full screen, talk about if the EQ still feels too clunky when dragging around the dots, because I have that problem on my Mac, and my MacBook Pro. When I'm trying to drag, the dots just don't want to move anywhere, and I don't know why. So yeah, this is Bitwig 2.3. It's a very nice update for 2.3. They've been working for a few months on it now, kind of in the quiet. So this is exciting to see this. I'm almost equally excited for this as I was for Bitwig 2. I was more excited for Bitwig 2 because it was a huge update, but this is the first of the 2 series that has had me very excited. So I can't wait to see this and make some videos out of it. So yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.